Now, to truly kick off today's conversation, I'd like to welcome Cynthia Jackson. Cynthia joins us from Start Early, formerly known as the Ounce of Prevention, where she is Senior VP and leads the Educator Learning Network. In my book, though, she's somewhat of a celebrity, having shared some of the most foundational remarks during the Early Childhood Workforce Catalyst, the event that marked the start of this report in this effort this past summer. What she shared then gripped my thoughts, made it onto the header of each page of my notes, and deeply informed the drafting of today's report. It is truly my pleasure to introduce Cynthia Jackson.
Thank you so much, Cody. And I also have to thank Yasmina, the National Head Start Association, the HeadStarter Network, and Bellwether Education Partners for inviting me back to provide some opening remarks. And it is truly a pleasure. And Cody, thank you for such a great and warm welcome. Last time I talked about getting unstuck. This time, I want to say, I think we've come unstuck. Today's launch is evidence of a first step in joining together in an organized effort to identify a starting place for addressing the under-resourced early childhood field. We have been great at calling out the inequities of high-quality early care and education for children and families served. And we are great at calling out the inequities in the development of our early childhood professionals. The challenge is ours to address. We must do, what must we do to recruit, credential, train, and retain early childhood professionals? Our presenters today, Ashley and Cody, authored the white paper, Broader, Deeper, Fairer, which is inclusive of the proceedings from the National Head Start Early Childhood Workforce Catalyst Gathering, as well as interviews with many other experts, practitioners, researchers, and the like. These 5 strategies to expand the talent pool in early education presented today may seem unreachable, unachievable, even grandiose, particularly when the resources needed to act have not been identified. However, quote, you have to set goals that are almost out of reach. If you set a goal that is attainable without much work or thought, you are stuck without something or with something below your talent and potential. Steve Garvey, success.com. The field has the talent and the potential to activate these strategies and recommendations. There is no time to wait. The issue is not only that childcare or early childhood care and education is essential, as it has been highlighted during the current nagging stress of the pandemic. The issue is also that we don't have enough individuals seeking this profession, qualified pathways, or resources to support this work. Now, more than ever, building a system of recruitment, credentialing, or certification pathways, retention, and ongoing professional development of early child professionals is urgent. The only time element to consider is this time, which is now, to move forward. I'll repeat that. The only time element to consider is this time, which is now, to move forward together, supportive of one another, supportive of each group or organization or entity that takes on the challenge of testing out the 5 strategies. Perhaps they will be implemented in a variety of different ways, monitored closely, evaluated for success or falling short. We will recognize that there's no one way to solve a problem or achieve success. What may be successful in one community may not be successful in another. So then we adapt to meet the needs of the communities, our constituents, and partners. Boldness and being unstuck comes from stepping up to the challenge and implementing or testing out strategies. That's the fail fast and move on strategy. I'd like to add that we need to reach agreement that trying something is much, much better than continuing to lament about an issue that has plagued the field for decades. We've spent far too much time and energy complaining about the issue without forming an allegiance to collaboratively do something or do some things. Quite possibly, many strategies will need to be tried to create viable solutions. We must be different this time around. We must be in agreement, join together with an organized effort and collaborate, and agree to disagree, but do not let or allow disagreement to stall us or derail us. What will be challenging for all of us is the doing of the work. We are fantastic at discussing the issue, complaining about the early childhood workforce issues, yet actions that are being taken are often invisible and even hidden from view. Actions cannot be siloed or invisible. They must be visible, evaluated, tested out in various communities and organizations, and when there is evidence of success, scale to serve a broader population of people interested in pursuing the profession, additional education, certification, advanced professional development, but those that perhaps likely are without the means and resources to pursue this field of work. Not one of these is the answer or the only answer. There is no silver bullet that will solve the workforce recruitment, development, and retention issues, or the challenges that we face in finding viable routes to serve this looming issue. Maybe not the 5 strategies identified so far. Perhaps a combination of them are pathways forward. Or could we be so lucky to discover additional innovative pathways and strategies that are already being field tested and have some evidence of success? Quote, "Neither failure nor success is written. The story of our generation will be measured on what we are willing to do." End quote, Ibram X. Kendi. Let's do the work. All of these strategies are indeed a beginning, a jumping off point to a solution-driven approach to early childhood workforce field building. A full press ahead is required of us. There will remain the issue of compensation for this essential workforce. The current early childhood professionals and the new professionals that we will need to recruit will be looking to us to find solutions to this challenge as well. That alone, addressing compensation, will take a full press. My challenge to us today is, let's see how we can stand together, advocate for change, develop systematic, equitable policies that support and resource a well-educated, well-trained early childhood workforce, dismantling institutional systems of embedded racism that keep out some and advance others. And finally, press for policy and system change that support a well-compensated workforce. I cannot wait to see how we'll do this. It will be risky in some instances, but worth the effort if successful, and if it successfully moves us in the new direction. Thank you. Onward.
Thank you, Cynthia, for challenging us to stop dreaming and to start doing, to act now, to push us to try implementation, to fail fast and keep going. I'll be watching the recording and getting those notes back on the top of my pages.